Welcome to Jack Murphy Stadium, home of the San Diego Padres and host to the Los Angeles Dodgers. We pick up the action in the bottom of the second inning with both teams scoreless here on ESPN Classic.
Marvell win in the second, followed by Santiago and Reddy. And Hershiser delivering low. Again, if you just tuned in, Hershiser allowed a single up the middle of Flannery with 1 out in the first. Got Tony Gwynn to ground out and force him. And then Carmelo Martinez to pop to first to end the inning. Into center at Shelby. 1 out.
Orel Hershiser's best pitch is that great sinking fastball. It's a real hard sinker, and normally you'll see a lot of ground balls when he's pitching. But the Padres have hit a couple of balls in the air tonight and hit them in the air pretty well, which indicates the ball may not be sinking as much as Orel would like.
Santiago, who just never really got into the groove of last year offensively. Defensively, he was the best we saw all year. Big cut, strike one. The Dodger organization is in a difficult situation because the record that Hershiser is chasing is, of course, held by a former Dodger and now present Dodger broadcaster Don Drysdale. So in their notes, they continue to call it 58 2/3 for Drysdale's record. Then in parentheses, they say 58 innings, according to the Elias Sports Bureau. In other words, Don, there he is in the Dodger booth next to Vin Scully, who's talking. Don, we know your record's 58 2/3, but those boo-boos in New York, they don't know. So if they call it 58, don't blame us, Don. We're with you. 1 and 2.
Just as we got a shot of Drysdale, he gave a great big yawn. He's really fired up about what's happening.
Hershiser to Santiago, 1 and 2. And a high fly ball, medium depth, right center. Shelby and Davis, that's Mike Davis, 2 away. If you're wondering, by the way, as Drysdale does play-by-play with 2 others, you saw Scully and Ross Porter. If, in fact, Drysdale might be doing the play-by-play when Hershiser is in the 9th and about to tie his record if that happens. It's my recollection that Scully finishes up the 8th and 9th on their network, so I don't think Drysdale will be at the mic at that time as the solo man. And Scully works alone, so it's strictly going to be Scully on the air. Imagine doing a guy going after your record and you're the play-by-play guy. There's a baseball first. Here's Randy Reddy, who did, in fact, hit a home run Monday against Fernando Valenzuela in this series. His 7th of the year. Ball 1. Fastball missing. 2-0. And you're right, Hershiser is not sharp. You could see him on the mound, the shots that we had of him before the first, taking those big, deep breaths. That's somebody who's nervous. Two and 1.
Well, it's tough enough to go out there and try to pitch your team to a win, but when you go out on the mound knowing that really tonight only a shutout will be acceptable, whoa, that's tough.
2-1. And the corner for 2 balls, 2 strikes to Reddy. 2 outs, no one on in the second. And a scoreless ball game. Franklin Stubbs and forgot to bring the baseball. Stubbs, who dropped the ball on the throw to him for an error yesterday, has an error there to get a man on with 2 outs in the second inning.
Well, another look. Stubbs thought he had it. Starts toward first. Whoops. No ball and glove. E3.
Stubbs' 13th error of the year, and that's a lot. I think last year Sid Bream led the National League's first baseman with 17. But I guarantee you, Stubbs, having not played but 113 games, and not all of that as a starting first baseman. That's a lot of errors for his number of starts at first. Here's Templeton. Chase the sinker. Strike 1. That sunk. In that Toronto-Boston game, by the way, Bob told you 1-0 Blue Jays. Jimmy Key won his 12th. The ace of that staff, Bruce Hurst. The loser, 18-6 now. Hershiser, 2 scoreless innings. Hawkins, strike 1. No score, bottom of the 3rd. Dodgers have 2 hits. The Padres have 1 single by Flannery off Hershiser. Much Hawkins hit a home run. Great story. Perhaps not. Boy, he lost that in the lights. Hamilton had to crouch on over to find that ball at 3rd and throw him out, 1 away.
Well, the last 3 Padres have hit the ball on the ground. So if you're looking for trends, an indication that maybe that Hershiser sinker is starting to sink better now.
Been talking about home runs, since obviously that's an instant way to lose the shutout. And Hershiser has given up more home runs than anyone on the Dodger staff for a sinker ball pitcher. 18 home runs. That's a lot, and a lot for him. To Roberto Alomar, ball 1.
But he hasn't given up one since August the 14th. Bob Melvin, that noted Padre home run killer, hit the home run off Hershiser.
1-1. Alomar now 1 for 10 in this series when he flied out to center in the 1st. Three games in Houston, and that's it. It's over. Drag bunt, little too hard to Stubbs. 2 out.
Yeah, got that bunt too close to the first baseman. You need to drag that bunt toward the second baseman in order to make it work.
2 gone in the 3rd. And no score in the game.
Hershiser going for his 24th win here tonight, and Danny Jackson of the Reds going for his 24th at Candlestick.
Strike 1. I got to think Hershiser's got the Cy Young locked up regardless of what he does here in his final start of the year. Regular season. The shortstop, Alfredo Griffin. Hershiser has completed 3 scoreless innings in this ballgame. Padres go in order for the first time. Budweiser scoreboard. After 3, no score.
Ball 1 to Tony. Is Tony cool or what? I'm interviewing Tony on the cable pregame show tonight. And the Dodgers are taking infield, and a ball got loose. Tony takes a strike, 1-1, and hit Tony on the thigh while we're doing the interview. And he hardly flinched. And he finished answering the question. I said, Tony, you just got hit with a throw. He said, yes, but I'm doing this interview, so this interview is more important than reacting to that throw. Ball 2-1. He said, besides, it was probably just Steve Sachs. He really said that.
See, that's what's called focus. That's the new athlete. Some of the athletic terms that have come down. Being pumped. One year was, I'm pumped. I'm really pumped for this. Like Sachs is pumped. And then now it's focus. He had great focus on the task at hand.
And his task at hand was to get good answers to my penetrating questions. So here's the 2-1 pitch to Tony. To the aforementioned Sachs, who throws him out. So that's the first out in the 4th for San Diego. And now Hershiser will go after Carmelo Martinez.
Should point out, as we told you, Toronto beat Boston, Cleveland beat the Tigers, Baltimore beat the Yankees. The tie has been broken in the Milwaukee-California game. It was 3-3. Now the Brewers have gone ahead as the Angels bat in the top of the 8th in Milwaukee County Stadium. Milwaukee leads 4-3. And as Bob told you, they can have sole possession a second, 2.5 back if they win.
Carmelo doesn't get it, strike 1. Boy, the Angels are really staggering to the finish this year. If they lose that game, it'll be their 9th in a row and 15 out of 17. 1-1.
Can't fire the manager. Already did that. Got to try something else. Like finding another manager.
I wonder if Gene Mauch really will come back. Speaking of coming back.
He just did.
Who's that? Peering. Strike 2. 1-2 to Mello. Well, one first baseman at the plate and another one just came into the booth.
Garv is looking dapper. Ooh, nice tie. Nice tie. Makes him look taller, he says. We'll handle the lines in here, okay? You figure all the old Dodgers are around. I saw Buzzy Bavasi up there. Garvey's here. Gee whiz. Koufax here. Anybody else? Here's the Garv. Is it ex-Dodger week or what? No pay. No money. No. You don't have to pay us. We pay you for coming on.
2-2 the count to Carmelo. Yeah, he went around. So down goes Carmelo Martinez. Strikeout number 1 for Orel Hershiser.
Seems to be getting better, doesn't he?
Fooled him on that pitch.
Sure did. Not close.
And here's Marvell Wynn. That's 6 in a row now, retired by Hershiser. Padres have had only 2 base runners. Flannery single in the first inning, and Reddy reached on an error in the second. Fouled away. So right now it is 52 2/3 innings for Orel Hershiser. Drive into right center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. So there's the second hit of the game for San Diego. And it brings up Benito Santiago. Talking about a terrible finish like the Angels are having. Remember the Padres last year lost 10 of their last 11 games. Ironically, the only game they won was against Hershiser. A home run by Stanley Jefferson was the only run of the game, and the Padres beat Hershiser and the Dodgers 1-0, and that was indeed the game where Hershiser stopped Benito Santiago's 34-game hitting streak. Benny had only 3 at-bats in that game. He was on deck when the last out was made in the 8th inning for San Diego. Ground ball to short. Should be an easy play for Griffin. He gets it to Sachs. That's the force on Marvell Wynn. And the Padre 4th inning is history. Here's Scioscia. Takes the ball. Scioscia has not played in nearly a week since his collision at the plate. He blocking the plate. Hit by John Kruk trying to score. Kruk did score. Foul back, 1-1. But Scioscia suffered a deep bruise around the pelvic area and has not started a game since then until tonight. As for John Kruk, he has left for West Virginia. Sporting a protective cast around the leg, not because of a knee ligament strain, but because of a cut. Changeup misses, 2-1. He can't bend the leg. He has to keep the leg stiff, otherwise the stitches on the cut will break open. So in another week or so, he'll be okay. Low, 3-1 to Scioscia. John Kruk left for West Virginia. Told Jack McKeon, I'm going to come back to spring training in the best shape of my career. That's marching unit. And John, that means he's going to have to lose about 20 pounds. Here's the 3-1 to Scioscia. Drive to right field. Can Wynn get there? Yes. So Scioscia got a 3-1 fastball, ripped it to right field, but Marvell Wynn in the right spot. 1 out in the 5th inning for the Dodgers. No score in the game from the stadium. And the Hawk will now go after Jeff Hamilton. Hamilton 6 home runs on the year. Struggling with the bat of late, though. Has only 2 hits in his last 19 at bats. Takes the ball. Hamilton will be followed by Alfredo Griffin. Dodgers really have not had a scoring opportunity. Have not had a runner in scoring position yet. There's a foul out of play. And the count is even 1-1. Of course, neither have the Padres. Neither team has advanced a man as far as second base yet. We are in the 5th inning. So a classic pitching duel between Andy Hawkins and Orel Hershiser. Hawkins after his 15th win. 2-1. If Hawk gets it, it'll be the most wins he's had in a season since he won 18. Remember that year? '85. Fastball. Strike 2, 2-2. In fact, Hawk has won in double figures only one other year. 1986, he was a 10-game winner. Last year dropped to 3-10. Had a bad arm, an in-run average of over 5. But has come back strong this year. Good year for him, too, because he's eligible for free agency. Fly ball down the right field line, near the foul line. Marvell Wynn near the stands. He got it. Did you see that fan with a straw hat down there? And if that fan had reached over the railing with that hat and interfered with Marvell, yeah, there's the fan, the umpires would have ruled it an out. Had the ball been in the stands, then the fan could do whatever he wanted to get that ball. Now, you can't really see the fan with the straw hat there. But you saw on that other shot there. There's a good shot. Yeah. Looked like he was trying to catch it with that straw hat. Probably did distract Marvell a little bit. But he got it. Alfredo Griffin takes the ball. Oh, good camera work. Good directing by Steve Silverman. 1-0 pitch to Griffin. Line drive. That's fair. That's going to go into the corner. Marvell will play it off the wall. And Griffin will stop at second base. No sense with 2 outs taking a chance on trying to stretch it into a triple. So Griffin gets a 2-base hit, and he becomes the first player in this game to reach second base. Clean double to right. And that snaps a 1-for-17 string for Alfredo Griffin. Griffin was thinking double all the way. Now, here's Orel Hershiser. Hershiser bounced a single to left in the 3rd inning. Another single would likely get the run across. No score, 5th inning. Hershiser batting 133. He has driven in 6 runs, but he's a pretty good athlete. Better hitter than that 133 would indicate. There's a little chopper right back to Hawk, though. And he throws him out. And that'll do it for the Dodgers. Bottom 3rd of the batting order for San Diego in the 5th. Randy Reddy, Gary Templeton, Andy Hawkins. Reddy reached on an error in the 2nd inning. Hit the ball sharply, but right to Franklin Stubbs at first, and he just booted it. Ball 1. What a versatile player Randy Reddy is. Has he proved it this year or what? Started the season as the Padres' regular second baseman. Then played some at 3rd. Takes a strike, 1-1. And now seeing most of his action in left field. Never complains, does whatever he's asked. Chopper toward second. Should be an easy play for Steve Sachs, and it is. Hershiser now will go after Gary Templeton. Tempe also eligible to be a free agent at the end of the season, but has stated publicly he would like to stay in San Diego. And Jack McKeon has said he very much would like to keep Templeton in San Diego. Sounds like the basis for an agreement. Tempe takes the ball. And the way Templeton has been used this year, he has stayed strong right to the end of September. Fly ball left field. Routine for Kirk Gibson. 2 outs. Tempe hasn't had to play as much on artificial turf. Dickie Thon has played a lot of shortstop. Thon's done a pretty good job with the bat. And so it's kept Templeton strong. 2 outs, nobody on. And Andy Hawkins will be the hitter. Hawk bounced out to 3rd, his first at bat. Andy hitting only 117, has driven in 3 runs. Has done a pretty decent job laying down sacrifice bunts this year. Checks his swing, pitches over anyway for a strike. Hawkins has 10 sacrifice bunts. And that's the most of any of the Padre pitchers. That curveball misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Paul Runge, the umpire at first. Shook his head no. Hawk did not go around on that pitch. Check swing, and Hershiser has it. Left flip underhanded to Stubbs, and the Padre fifth inning goes by very quickly. Here's Steve Sachs. Ground ball in the hole. Can Templeton make it? No. Off his glove. So the Dodgers get one of their best base runners aboard. And we'll see how it's scored.
I would score an error. We'll see here. Right in front of it. In and out of the heel of the glove. And it is an error on Gary Templeton.
Tempe got down on the ball. It didn't come up. And the ball didn't make a bad hop. Just a routine error. So Sachs at first with nobody out, and we'll see if that's a big play. There's no score in this game, and the batter is Franklin Stubbs. Stubbs is a good bunter. Also has the power to hit one out of here. But a scoreless game, sixth inning. We'll see how the Dodgers play it. Stubbs has popped up and struck out against Hawkins. Keeping an eye on Steve Sachs. Pretty good idea. Sachs has stolen 42 bases. Been caught 11 times. So he makes it nearly 80% of the time. Ball one to Stubbs. Stubbs gave no indication he would be bunting on that pitch. Stubbs has 2 sacrifice bunts this year. Tim Flannery knows he bunts occasionally, though. Likes to bunt for a base hit. Tim is even with the bag at third. Ball 2, throw to first, and Sachs gets back. So Hawkins has fallen behind Franklin Stubbs 2-0 now. And it's possible that Tommy Lasorda might be thinking hit and run. Lasorda does like to hit and run. Wait for Hawkins to throw a strike, though. 2-0. Up. He was swinging. Fly ball to left center. Ready R. Gwynn. And it's Gwynn who makes the catch. So Tommy let Stubbs take a shot with the count 2-0, hoping he would get a fat fastball. But Hawkins' fastball is moving well tonight. So Stubbs is out on a fly ball to center. And with one out, here's Kirk Gibson. Sachs fakes going. The pitch is inside for a ball. Looked like Sachs was going to go and then maybe thought he didn't have a good enough jump. A lot of sluggers do not like base runners stealing when they're at bat. It kind of distracts them. Reggie Jackson was like that. Mike Schmidt is like that with the Phillies. Crowd responding to another killer beach ball grabbed by a security guard.
I mean, I could see having fun at the ballpark. You got a great scoreless duel here between two pitchers, and they're playing beach ball. Give it a rest on a beach ball. This is great baseball.
Ball 2, 2-0. There's one thing when Ramon Martinez was putting everybody to sleep last night.
Oh yeah, it's a different story.
Not tonight. Hawkins walking a tightrope here, behind in the count 2-0 to Gibson. He was able to get Stubbs on a 2-0 pitch. Let's see what happens with Gibson. Sachs, the runner at first, definitely a base stealing threat. Fakes running, 2-0 pitch is in there for a strike. 2-1. So here's the classic hit and run count. 2 balls, 1 strike. However, Gibson is not a real good hit and run guy because he swings and misses a lot. John Shelby, the on-deck hitter. No score, 6th inning. Good ball game tonight at the stadium. Andy Hawkins and Orel Hershiser. And Hawk makes a throw to first base. Most of the time, those throws to first base are orchestrated from the Padre dugout. Jack McKeon and Pat Dobson, they see a lot of things, and they'll let Benito Santiago know when to call for a throw to first base. Sachs not running. Ball 3, 3-1. Well, now the Dodgers know the next pitch will not be a pitch out with the count 3-1. So So Sachs has clear sailing as far as that's concerned. And Hawk behind 3-1 to Kirk Gibson. Dodgers have had one runner in scoring position. A 2-out double by Griffin in the 5th inning. They have not had 2 men on at the same time yet. Neither have the Padres. Moved to first, and it looked like Sachs was gone. Had Hawk made a better move, they might have had it. Hawk made a little move, and Sachs made that one step towards second, then had to dive back. It was not a close play. Hawk just sort of made a routine move to first. Sachs is going. The 3-1 pitch is short hop by Alomar. Gets it to second too late, and the Padres get Gibson at first. Still a pretty good idea by Alomar, because the ball was hit so hard he figured they could still get Gibson at first. Sachs goes to second, and now it's up to John Shelby. And for the second time in the game, the Dodgers have a runner in scoring position. That was almost a line drive caught by Alomar. If so, then Sachs easily would have been doubled up at first. So here's Shelby, who's flied out and struck out, with a chance to give the Dodgers the lead. No score, 6th inning. Ball 1 to Shelby. Shelby lifetime against Hawkins, 2 hits in 7 at-bats. So not enough at-bats to really get a feel. Shelby batting cleanup for the Dodgers tonight. On the outside corner. Good pitch, and the count 1-1.
Just ran into a television reporter from Channel 7 in New York who was out here to cover this game.
Really?
Yeah.
Just this game? Going to make a live feed back to New York tonight?
I have no idea what they plan.
Wow.
LA stations are doing their 10 and 11 o'clock shows live from here later tonight, obviously. It is. It's got that atmosphere. I love it.
Strike, throw to second, and Sachs gets back.
Benny not going to sneak up on anybody anymore, you know. The word is out.
Scoreboard has 2-1. Is it 2-1 or 1-2? Not sure. I thought that last pitch was a strike. Well, we'll see. Well, it's either 3-1 or 2-2. That's a big difference. Sachs at second base with 2 outs. And Hawk steps off the rubber. First base is open, but another left-handed hitter, Mike Davis, is on deck, and Davis has hit the ball hard twice off Hawkins tonight. And now Santiago will go to the mound to talk to Hawk. So an important pitch coming up, and they want to make sure they're together on their thinking. Also, they want to make sure Sachs is not stealing the sign and giving it to the hitter, John Shelby. Outfield straight away for Shelby. Shelby a better hitter batting from the left side where he is now than batting right-handed. And he has more power batting from the left side. It's about 40 points higher batting left-handed like he is now. Okay. Hawk a long look, and now time called by Shelby as Hawkins took too much time.
If I'm not mistaken, 2 starts ago was when Shelby won the Hershiser shutout for him with a home run in a 1-0 ball game.
He's hit 10 home runs so far this year. And it's ball 4, so the count was correct. Hawkins didn't look comfortable pitching to Shelby there. So that's the first walk given up by Hawk. And it's the first time in the game the Dodgers have had 2 runners on base. Sacks at second, Shelby at first, so good speed on the bases. And with 2 out, here's Davis. Line to left field in the second inning. Drove Marvell into the warning track right up against the fence to haul down his line drive in the 4th. Still on the year, batting under 200, 199. Boy, who would have thought that? Ball 1 to Mike Davis. Hawk really taking a lot of time now between pitches. Fly ball, shallow center. Gary Templeton for the out. So Robbie winding up his first season in the big leagues. Not a complete season, but almost. He just missed the first couple of weeks of the year. Started the season at Las Vegas, but it didn't take long to get him up to the big leagues. And he takes a strike, 0-1. Jeff Hamilton way up at third, guarding against a bunt in that direction. Fly ball center field. Left center. Kirk Gibson moves over in front of John Shelby, and he's got it. So the Padres no longer even hitting the ball hard off Hershiser. And with 1 out, they go after Tim Flannery. Well, Ted, we don't have a broadcast tomorrow, so we should take time tonight to wish Tim Flannery a happy birthday. Tomorrow is his birthday. 31 years young.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
On his birthday eve, Flan has 1 of the 2 hits the Padres have managed off Hershiser. That curve is good for a strike. He got it in the first inning. Ground ball up the middle. Strike 2, 0-2. Flan, as you know, the kind of guy who'll turn his body into a pitch if it's inside, do anything to get on base. That one's high, 1-2.
Interesting that has been pointed out during this quest by Hershiser to catch Drysdale's record that Drysdale, in fact, had his extended because of a hit batsman with a man on third, bases loaded, and it was called no run because the batter did not try to get out of the way. He was out.
Ground ball towards second base. And Sachs throws him out. 2 away. But Tony Gwynn, who's coming up now, was in attendance at that game.
Great stat.
Yeah, he talked about it on the pregame show. Said his dad took him. He said, boy, all heck broke loose. He said, I remember they hit big beats, and Harry Wendelstedt, the umpire, said, no, you didn't try to get out of the way and disallowed a run. And said, boy, everybody was arguing. You can imagine. Tony looking for his first hit tonight, has grounded out twice. Ball 1. Padres have not had more than 4 men bat in any single inning. Have not as yet had a runner in scoring position. But the Dodgers have not scored either. 6th inning. 2-0. Jack McKeon said, hey, the way to make everybody happy is let Hershiser shut out the Padres for 10 innings, but have San Diego win in the 11th.
Nah.
I know this. The Padre players do not want to be a shutout victim of Hershiser's tonight. There's a strike, 2-1. So if Hershiser gets it, he will deserve all the credit in the world. He is on an amazing streak. 3-1 to Gwynn.
Milwaukee second place by themselves, American League East. 4-3 winners over the Angels.
2.5 games behind the Red Sox. Fouled away down the left field line. So the count full. And the Brewers have really had an amazing streak. And the thing is, they're the swing team in the American League East this year, which means the last month of the season they're playing only Western teams. So they don't have a chance to gain on the Eastern leaders in head-to-head competition. So the count full to Tony Gwynn. 2 outs and nobody on. No score, 6th inning. Tony's batting average right now at .313. Not great by Tony Gwynn standards, but the best in the National League to this point of the season. Hershiser delivers the 3-2. Hit well to left field, slicing into foul territory. Long run for Gibson. He's not going to get it. So just a long foul by Tony Gwynn, and the fans down the left field line giving him the devil, but at least here, unlike Candlestick, they aren't throwing bottles and sticks at him.
Batteries and pennies.
All those good things. You know, there really is more tension in the air tonight than there was Monday when the Dodgers clinched the division.
Something special.
Yeah. Gwynn back in, and the 3-2. Ground ball to Sachs. No score here after 6 innings of play. Well, no surprise the way Hershiser has been pitching lately. But a pat on the back for Andy Hawkins in his last start, the way he's pitching tonight. He's given up 3 hits. Hershiser has given up 2. Dodgers twice have had a runner in scoring position. The Padres have not as yet. Here's Mike Scioscia leading it off in the 7th, and here's Ted Light.
Thank you, Robert. After Scioscia is Hamilton and then Griffin. 6, 7, 8 hitters. Well hit to right. Marvell on the track. Dodgers have hit a couple of rockets, several in this game, including sacks in the 1st inning all the way to left center. Tony Gwynn took the ball at the wall.
By my count, that's the 3rd ball that has sent a Padre outfielder to the warning track. Sachs leading off the game. Mike Davis in the 4th inning. And now Mike Scioscia.
Not a good sign. Means Andy's getting away with his mistakes, at least for now. That's the best part of it. But not a good trend. Hamilton, you see what he's done, flying out twice. And a strike. Dodgers will finish up at home against the Giants this weekend. And they're 3. Now, the Padres, as mentioned, will be in Houston Friday and Saturday nights and Sunday afternoon. Another high drive. Not getting away with all of them. Deep to left center. Tony Gwynn is there. 2 out. Whew. That's the great cliche about dodging bullets. He's doing it. Still scoreless. That one I thought was going out. I don't know if it's carrying differently from normal from what how we judge fly balls. I thought that was a home run over the lower fence when it left the bat.
Well, he hit it to left center field. Had he pulled it more, I think it would have been out. That ball was hit about 365 feet.
Alfredo Griffin. One of the 3 hits with a single in the 5th, plus Hershiser's single in the 3rd and Gibson's singleton in the 1st. No score. Top of the 7th. Foul back. Everything's done now in the American League. And in the National, the way with the offenses of the Astros and the Braves, they could play forever. They're 3-3 in the 15th in Atlanta. Must be a huge crowd there too, by the way. Ooh! Check this swing. 1-1. What did Skip Carey had one of those crowds of 2,000 at Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium, and Skip Carey, the play-by-play man for the Braves, said, well, we have a partial sellout tonight. Yeah, partial. And and a strike ahead of Griffin. 1-2 with 2 out.
It's 18 minutes before midnight in Atlanta. I'll bet a lot of people from that partial sellout tonight have left.
You betcha. 1-2 pitch. Just missed inside. 2-2. All zeros on the scoreboard through 6. They came to watch Hershiser, but Hawkins is letting them know he's around 2. 2-2. Fouled away. No one on, 2 outs here as Griffin at even 2 balls, 2 strikes. And strike 3 call. So Hershiser going after the 4, 5, and 6 hitters here in the 7th inning. Carmelo Martinez, Marvell Wynn, and Benito Santiago. Dodgers 3 hits, the Padres 2 in a scoreless ball game. Low and outside, ball 1.
By the way, it's now the 16th inning in Atlanta.
Glad we're here. Foul back. 1-1. Last time I went to Atlanta, I got there, took a Thursday night red eye. I got there at 5:30 in the morning Friday morning. Took a little nap, got up, worked out at the health club, got dressed, packed up, checked out, ready to go to the ballpark, and they called the game for rain. Continued checking out, went to the airport, flew to San Francisco Friday night, and did a nice day football game Saturday night in Palo Alto, which turned out to be a stinker of a game. Rain out didn't bother me. The lousy football game, that bothered me. 1-1. Outside. 2-1.
Actually, that Houston-Atlanta game is of interest to the Padres players because the Padres are only 2 games behind Houston starting play tonight. Should the Astros lose, the Padres win. Just 1 game.
Foul ball. 2-2. The Dodgers Tuesday at home against the Mets. Dwight Gooden, who lost tonight, will go against the gentleman on the mound tonight, Orel Hershiser. Talk about media tonight. Everybody who is and who wants to be will be there covering the games Tuesday and Wednesday in Los Angeles and then on to New York. Down the left field line. A foul ball. Still 2-2. 55 consecutive scoreless innings. The streak of Orel Hershiser. Don Drysdale being shot with a camera, not for the first time tonight and not for the last. He's got the record of 58. And is now broadcasting this inning on the Dodger Network on radio. Martinez to Griffin, broken bat, ground ball, 1 out.
If Hershiser gets through this inning, that'll be 56 innings, and that will be the 2nd longest shutout streak of all time. The 2nd longest right now, owned by Walter Johnson, the big train, the great fastball pitcher for the Washington Senators. 55 2/3 was Johnson's mark. Most people thought that was unattainable until Drysdale passed it.
Marvell Wynn flied to center and singled. One of the 2 hits off Hershiser. The other one was the Flannery single with 1 out as the second batter in the first. So 8 in a row retired by Hershiser. 1-1. Left field base hit. Marvell 2 for 3, and a wild runner for the Padres in the 7th, and one with speed. So he hadn't done a lot of running this year.
And Marvell, one of the few Padres to do what the players talked about what they were going to do before the game, and that's go the other way with Hershiser's sinker. And Marvell, a solid single to left field.
Benito has not done that. Still trying to pull the ball, though he did go to right field with a fly ball in the 2nd. But reach for that sinker outside and ground to the shortstop, which is what you're going to do a lot of if you don't adjust and go the opposite way. Chopped foul on the third base side. I mentioned Buzzy Bavesi. I ran into him just before the game. He is here. He lives in La Jolla, of course. Former Dodger executive and Padre executive, who was with the Dodgers, I guess, when Drysdale set his record.
Yeah, he was with the Dodgers in 1968. Came to the Padres for the 1969 season.
Scoreless still in the 7th, 1-1. Marvell held on by Franklin Stubbs. Marvell stolen 2 bases all year, caught 4 times. This has not been a running year.
Well, Jack McKeon, frankly, felt the team was trying to run too much early in the season, that there really was not that kind of speed on the club, except in a couple of guys. So very few players on the Padres have the green light. They run when McKeon lets them run.
1-1. High fly ball in the corner. Gibson. Nope. Hershiser ahead of Benito, 1-2. A lot of Dodger fans. Monday had to be at least a 50-50 split, if not 60-40 in terms of Dodger fans. There are always a lot of them here, the ones who followed the Dodgers before the Padres back in the 60s. Listening on a 50,000-watt radio station, KFI back then. Lance McCullers, as you see, getting work now in the Padre bullpen. And I'm sure a lot of people came down from L.A. Monday just to watch the clinching, thinking it might happen Monday, if not then Tuesday. Pitching duel. 6 hits. They're now 3 apiece. All singles. Padres have not had a runner to second base in this game.
They've had very few on first base.
This is a good point. 3 of those. Fly ball right field. Mike Davis. 2 out. Went back to first. That ball sounded pretty good when he left the bat, but it went nowhere. He didn't really get it on the fat part of the bat. So with 2 gone in the 7th, Randy Reddy. Hershiser's quite an athlete. Junior hockey player. Sure can pitch. They didn't have much hope. They didn't think he was any big shakes. He wasn't his first couple of years in the minor leagues. He just became a pitcher. Alfredo Griffin, the force play at second on Marvell Wynn.
We rejoin the action in the bottom of the 8th inning with Los Angeles and San Diego still scoreless right here on ESPN Classic.
Padres going over the $1.5 million mark in their final home game of the year. Templeton, Hawkins is scheduled. He is not on deck. And then Alomar here against Orel Hershiser. Now 56 consecutive scoreless innings, the second best streak ever, behind Drysdale's 58. Strike 1. There's Hawkins now. Has come out. So Jack going to let him bat, it appears. Boy, is Hershiser unhittable. 1 out. He retired 8 in a row before the single by Marvell in the 7th. Now 3 more in a row as Hawkins will back. He's grounded out twice. And again, this kind of a managerial move in a division race, different part of the season, you might hit for him. Say, hey, I got to win a ball game. Can't worry about shutouts and wins from my pitcher. I got to win a ball game. I can send the pinch hitter up. In a situation like this, though, this part of the season, let the guy go after it. This has been a great game. Outside, ball 1. Nothing but zeros. 6 hits, 3 apiece, an error apiece, no score. Bottom of the 8th. That's chopped foul. 1-1. Padres going into Houston to Flagler tomorrow. They'll play, as I said, opening Friday night in the Astrodome. And playing Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. And I'd much rather go into Houston this weekend than about 2 weekends ago. When the hurricane was on its way, though it never really hit Houston hard. Must have been some smooth flying in there at that time when the Giants went in that weekend. A ball and 2 strikes. It should be a lot nicer this weekend. Thank you very much. Hershiser. Unbelievable. Oh, boy. It's only his 2nd strikeout. But he doesn't need, he's not a strikeout pitcher. Ground balls, sinker, sinker, sinker. Roberto Alomar with 2 outs, no one on in the bottom of the 8th. And of course, you think about here with a scoreless game that Hershiser can go through the 9th to tie Drysdale in an extra inning game if it remains scoreless. He can break the record if he pitches a scoreless 10th and set his own at 59 straight. So we have the makings for that. Great story. Ball 1. It's a tough guy. I mean, he looks like an kid. I don't know if you saw the article by Jim Murray in the Los Angeles Times today, but he said if you saw this guy in a business suit, you'd think librarian, ornithologist, whatever. But he is one tough athlete. Just a few of the media. Oh, yes. All the Los Angeles radio and television stations, the newspapers, all the surrounding little towns, Pasadena and the others, and national media, missing with the fastball, 2-0. Hershiser has not walked a batter. The Dodgers have committed 1 error. He's allowed 3 singles. And as we said, the strikeout of Hawkins in this inning for the 2nd out, his 2nd strikeout. Taking there, 2-1. They set up an interview room adjacent to the Dodger locker room, a whole empty room, just to handle the post-game interviews for Hershiser like they would in the playoff. Base hit. The 4th hit, the 4th single. Alomar's first hit. So Alomar, a good base runner with quickness and speed. He and Tony Gwynn, of course, lead the Padres with 24 apiece in stolen bases. A 2-out runner in the 8th. Padres have not had a runner to second base in this game. The Dodgers had 1 against Hawkins. Great pitching. Big gap in right center for Tim. And down the line, they do not play him, of course, to pull against Hershiser. Ball 1. He got one of the 3 hits off him, a single with 1 out in the 1st. $24,311 in the ballpark, and they have seen just what they came for. Oh, had him picked off. He's out. Oh, Alomar, I don't know if he was going, but he was leaning. Picked off. 1-3. What a move. Had him so far off. Throw beat him. Yes, great game. And not only just the shutouts in his last 5, but the 3 preceding games, he went the distance. 8 straight route-going performances. And only one of those a loss. That was to the Mets on the 24th of August in a 2-1 ball game. So he gave up 2 runs. How dare him. John Shelby to right field, a base hit in front of Marvell Wynn. The Dodgers lead off with the single by the cleanup batter Shelby here in the top of the 9th. The hits again, 4 apiece. Shelby's first. This is Mike Davis. We were mentioning home runs before, in that only Flannery and Martinez in this lineup and Jefferson on the bench have ever homered against Hershiser, not this year, but in career. No one in this Dodger lineup has ever hit a home run off Andy Hawkins. None of the starters. John Shelby, good base runner, has stolen 16 out of 20, a great ratio. Davis has flied out twice and popped to short. Ball 1. Davis was the starting right fielder out of Vero Beach in spring training for the Dodgers. In a tremendous early season slump. Then Mike Marshall said his back was starting to hurt from all the quick starts and stops playing first base. He wanted to go back to right field. And they made that move, and Davis has been on the bench ever since, except for some, late season mop-up type of spot starting like now and yesterday. He got ticked off by that too. He said, yeah, I'm off to a slow start, but I'd hit before, Foul back, got a big cut. 1-1. In fact, Davis said, this is the only ball club I've ever been on where the players decide who plays where instead of the manager. Davis for the second time and McCullers for the second time in the Padre bullpen. Meaning that Marshall, he thinks Marshall should not be deciding where he plays. It should be Lasorda. So he figured Lasorda should make it. Marshall made the move, and it cost this guy right field. How would you feel? Didn't check the swing. That's a strike. 1-2. They had a game, an NBC Saturday afternoon game, where they had a shot of Mike in the dugout, obviously sitting, as always. And he had written a sign out saying, "Hi, Mike Davis is alive and well." And he held it up, and NBC shot it. I don't know if the Dodgers were thrilled by that, but there were no repercussions that we know of. The 1-2 pitch to him. Away from Tony into left center. In the left center, 1 away. John Shelby on first with 1 out. And the batter, Mike Scioscia. Scoreless game. Hershiser shortly will be against the Padres, trying to put them away in the 9th and tie Don Drysdale at 58 consecutive scoreless innings. An amazing, amazing feat. Andy Hawkins all the way. And he has pitched a great game himself. Andy's had a 1-hitter this year. But this performance has got to be in his top 4 or 5 all year. Hershiser watching. He was thinking about the possibility of pitching an inning in relief if he tied Drysdale today. Of possibly coming in an inning of relief this weekend against the Giants in Dodger Stadium. Ball 1 to Scioscia. Figuring he's got 5 days off. That's 1 more than he normally has before he pitches in the first game against the Mets in the playoff Tuesday in LA. So he was saying, yeah, if Tommy will let me, I'll go to break the record if I can, because I'll need the work. It will make sense. And I want the record. That'd be a tough call for Tommy. They pitch out, line to third, and not in time to double up the runner, John Shelby. Shelby was going, they pitched out, and Scioscia protecting, line to Flannery. 2 gone. Could have had the double play. They were close. So a 2 outs. It's Jeff Hamilton here in the 9th of a scoreless game. Padres, by the way, against Hershiser as he tries to tie the record. In the bottom of the 9th, we'll have Tim Flannery, Tony Gwynn, and Carmelo Martinez. Martinez and Gwynn, 300 lifetime hitters against Hershiser. Who wrote this script? I guess the writers are off strike, so somebody did. Terrific. Hamilton is flied out 3 times. Hit the ball pretty well, too. 2 of those 3. Breaking ball, ball 1. Hawkins trying for his 15th win. His best, of course, the 18 that he won in '85 following the pennant year, with a great first half and a bad second half, where he certainly would have been a 20-game winner that year. Strike, 1-1. Hershiser, of course, with his 16th yesterday. That's his career high. He won 15 in back-to-back years in '83 and '84. Baseball, you gotta have timing when your contract's up and you have your best year. Yes. 1-1. Foul away first base side. Andy has been ahead of most of the batters. Gets him falling behind in the 6th. Behind Stubbs and Gibson, but got them both. Here a ball and 2 strikes to Hamilton. I'm going to go to Andy's hometown of Waco in December to do an Aztec basketball game. I can't wait. What a trip. We'll stay at the hotel and eat in the restaurant. In fact, I've been there before with the Oklahoma football team back in 1972. I just remembered. Some stunning information, I know. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Missing outside to Hamilton, the 3rd baseman. 2-2. Scoreless. No one's even threatened. Although the Dodgers have driven 3 balls to the warning track. That's the closest to a threat against Hawkins all game long. Good pitch, fouled off. Good location. Outside, close enough to the strike zone that Hamilton had to protect and swing away. But not over the plate where he can get a hold of it and drive it. Still 2-2 with 2 outs. John Shelby's the runner at first after his lead single. Stepping off. Missed the corner. He's got Alfredo Griffin, the switch hitter, next, and obviously does not want to face the left-handed batter here with 2 on. John Shelby will be running on the 3-2 pitch. Had some big hits against the Padres. Not a home run hitter, but 2 of his home runs this year have been against the Padres. Runner goes, the 3-2 to Robbie Alomar. The 9th for the Dodgers is done. Lead single, and Hawkins gets the next 3. Hershiser trying to tie Don Drysdale's record coming up in the bottom of the 9th against Flannery, Gwynn, and Martinez. Back in a minute. A standing ovation for Hershiser from the Dodger fans mostly. I would hope some Padre fans, so they obviously want their team to win. But if you don't respect this accomplishment, you're not paying attention, or you know nothing about baseball. And these people obviously know something. 24,311, and I guarantee of all the games this year, and usually anytime it's tied in the bottom of the 9th, a lot of people will stay. But this has to be the largest ratio in percentage of people who have stayed into the 9th inning of a tie game for obvious reasons. Hershiser now has the 2nd longest streak in baseball history. 57 consecutive innings. This would be his 58th. To tie Don Drysdale, who set it for the Dodgers in the 1968 season. The fourth. The only thing that's really been a black mark on this thing is the fact that his son, 5 days old, is still in the hospital with some difficulties, and that's been the only thing distracting him. You sure haven't been able to tell. When this guy goes to the office, he pays attention. Talk about focus. Whew. So 2, 3, 4 hitters, Flannery, Gwynn, and Martinez in the bottom of the ninth of a tie ball game. Jose Gonzalez, for defensive purposes, goes in to play right field for Mike Davis. Straight up. Flannery has singled, grounded out twice, and ball 1 to him. The Dodgers 4 hits, all singles. The Padres 4 hits, all singles. Inside 2-0. Going for his 6th straight shutout, going for his 9th consecutive complete game. Right back to him. 57 1/3 scoreless innings. I'll give you the innings in the third of an inning. I remember one time listening to the tape of a Dodger broadcast when Sandy Koufax was going for a no-hitter, and Vin Scully really made it dramatic by not only giving the inning and the out, but he gave the time on the clock. And he would say it's 10:25, and Koufax is 2 outs away, and he did that with each out in the 9th inning. It was dramatic. Here's Tony, and a strike to him. Tony has grounded out all 3 times. And he's been pulling that sinker to second base twice to sacks. Big cut. Going for the downs there, 0-2. So we have the scenario that if the Padres don't win it here, Hershiser can break the record with a scoreless 10th. 1-2. Martinez to follow. So much for those records that'll never be broken. I guess next we'll hear somebody thinking about going after DiMaggio's 56th straight. I'll believe that when I see it. But this one had to be right up there in that kind of a classification. 1-2. Again, grounding out the sacks. Bobbled a little bit, but for the 3rd straight time, Tony Gwynn has grounded out to the Dodgers second baseman. 57 2/3 scoreless, 1 out away from tying Drysdale's record. And that batter is Carmelo Martinez. Bunch of Dodger fans waving banners, wearing blue caps, shirts, t-shirts. Everybody loves a winner. Carmelo has popped up, grounded out, and grounded out again. Hershiser has tied the record of Don Drysdale. The Padres go in order so easily, so quickly on 3 ground balls to the pitcher, second baseman, and third baseman, as Hershiser, as we complete 9 innings, has tied Drysdale at 58 consecutive. So easy. There was no drama. What did he throw? 6 pitches in the inning? Just like that. Done.
With the Dodgers and the Padres still scoreless, we rejoin the action in the bottom of the 10th as Orel Hershiser attempts to set a new Major League pitching record of 59 consecutive scoreless innings here on ESPN Classic.
30-year-old Orel Hershiser the fourth. What a performance. Born in Buffalo, New York. Grew up in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, which is right across the bridge from Philadelphia. Great player at Bowling Green University. He has had big years. His best previous one, that was 85, 19-3. Most wins previously. For the first time, a 20-game winner. He's won 23. He came in here with the 23 wins, 5 consecutive shutouts. Now he has pitched 9 innings of shutout ball to tie Don Drysdale's all-time baseball record at 58 straight, and will have to complete this inning scoreless to set a new record. He will face the Padres' 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Marvell Wynn, Benito Santiago, and Randy Reddy. All 3 have got home run power, but this guy's just tough to pull. Tough to get it up in the air. He's a sinker ball pitcher, and it's been going today. In terms of sinker balls, he got all 3 in the 9th on ground balls. To the mound, 2nd and 3rd to get Flannery, Gwynn, and Martinez, and made it look easy with an economy of pitches. Marvell Wynn, and a strike to get ahead. Going for his 24th win. Danny Jackson going for his 24th, but the Giants are leading the Reds, and Jackson's out of that ball game. It's 6-1 San Francisco. Strike, sinker, 0-2. Marvell is the only Padre with 2 hits, singles in the 4th and 7th. The hits are 4 apiece. One of the most dramatic and best pitch games we've seen all year at any capacity. Up high, check the swing, 1 and 2. Marvell has been a .320 lifetime hitter, so his 2 hits today are no fluke. That's against Hershiser. Goes out strike 3. Yes, Marvell can beat it out. A drop 3rd strike, and Wynn is aboard in the 10th inning. Should be a strikeout and a pass ball. Or did it hit the dirt? I did not see it. That's in the dirt. That's a strikeout and a wild pitch. 3rd strikeout for Hershiser. Couldn't see past Socher to see whether or not that ball from our angle, which is obviously behind home plate and up, was in the dirt or not. It was. Wild pitch. Padres get a first base runner. Benito Santiago is flat out to right twice, trying to go the opposite way with that breaking ball, and is grounded to short. It would be such a great ending to this. Hershiser having ended Benito's streak last year, 34 straight in September. He's bunting on the first pitch and fouling it off. Sacrifice was on. Has Benito had a sacrifice bunt all year? Yeah, 4. What he wants here, obviously, is to get that ground ball to the shortstop and start another double play. A double play. Dodgers have not turned one tonight. 1 strike pitch. Pulled it back as he squared on the sacrifice. 1-1. Well, the fans haven't left, and the media certainly hasn't left. 24,311, and most of them are still here. And even the ones who are not here, if he sets the record, will say they were here and saw it when Hershiser set the record back in '88. Looking Marvell back to first. It's always that way. 24,000 really saw it, and through the years, about 1.2 million will say they were there. He needs to complete this scoreless inning to set a new record. He has tied Drysdale at 58. Bunted. Hershiser will make the play with sacks covering. Sacrifice 1-4. The Padres get their first runner to second base tonight in the bottom of the 10th with 1 out. It's Marvell Wynn. Of course, you figure with his speed, he scores on a base hit to the outfield. You keep in mind you got the great plate blocker, Mike Scioscia, catching for Los Angeles. And in that series in L.A. Wednesday and Thursday, he bounced Templeton over his head when he was thrown out. Had the collision with Kruk at the plate when John was safe as he flipped right down on the plate before the tag could be put on. So that is a factor with Scioscia. The Dodger outfielders playing very, very shallow. They do not have great arms. Gibson the worst of the three, but neither Shelby nor Gonzalez are great throwers. Scoreless game in the 10th, up high to Randy Reddy, ball one. Marvell Wynn. Reddy has reached on an error, grounded out twice. Fredo Griffin to Stubbs, 2 out on the ground ball. Marvell Wynn goes to third. First visit to the mound today. First base is open. So a second for that matter. And the only run that matters, of course, is Marvell Wynn's at third. He's the winning run at third with 2 gone in the bottom of the 10th. So you have Templeton, and then Hawkins is scheduled. Obviously, they would hit for him in this situation, and they will walk Templeton. I figured that was coming. If it didn't, I'd be totally shocked. This is Hershiser's first walk. Keith Moreland will be the hitter for Hawkins. Now they could walk him to load the bases and set up a play anywhere with 2 outs. Then they would have to go after the lead batter and the switch hitter batting from the left side, Robbie Alomar. Ball 4. First and third in the bottom of the 10th. What's Drysdale thinking? Don't give me that stuff where guys always give it that, oh yeah, records are made to be broken. I was rooting for the kid. Fat chance. Whose name you want in the record book, yours or someone else's? Quiet. I mean, the crowd is just hushed. Introduction coming here right now of Moreland. He's in the game now officially. Not a warm greeting for Moreland. He has not had a spectacular year. Very disappointing for him and the organization. He is 1 for 2 as a pinch hitter this year. Overall hitting .259. No score. First and third Padres. Bottom of the 10th. The winning run. Marvell Wynn at third. He is the threat with 1 out away. Hershiser from a new record of 59 consecutive scoreless innings. Moreland, a .167 lifetime hitter. Templeton going. There's a strike. A .167 lifetime hitter against Orel Hershiser is Moreland. Give Templeton a stolen base down to second base, and of course they're not going to throw down. His run means nothing. The winning run is Marvell Wynn at third with 2 away. Keith Moreland 4 for 24 lifetime against Hershiser. Tough on right-handers and tough on everybody. There's a strike, 0-2. He is a strike away from setting a new record. See that ball get thrown back? Scioscia's throw almost went past Hershiser. That'd be a way to lose the record. Had the ball go past him, past Saxon in the outfield, and Marvell scores. End of record. He caught it. 2 outs, bottom of the 10th. No balls, 2 strikes on Moreland. 58 2/3 scoreless innings. disgusted with where he had that pitch, which was where Moreland got a pretty good swing at it. I mean, forget 5 in a row in shutouts be coming in here, but with all this media attention and all the pressure, what a performance. He didn't like, that's the 3rd baseball he'll try. Padres began this inning a strikeout of Marvell Wynn, but on a wild pitch he struck out. Got to first base safely as it went past Socha. Sacrificed to second by Santiago. Went to third on a ground out by Reddy. With 2 outs, they walk Templeton intentionally. He steals second. The 0-2 just missed outside. Joe West says 1 and 2. Still a strike away from the record. Marvell Wynn, the winning run at 10. At third here in the 10th. Unbelievable to go extra innings and give him a chance. The 1-2 pitch. Fly ball to right on a semi-check swing. Gonzalez, the record. Orel Hershiser, 59 consecutive innings, scoreless. The all-time record. Great performance. Congratulations to him. What a great job. And still a scoreless game through 10. If he's not the Cy Young Award winner, there's Drysdale, whose record he just broke. He had left the booth and gone downstairs. So the man who will start the playoffs against Dwight Gooden and the Mets Tuesday in his last start has set a new baseball record. 59 consecutive scoreless innings. Safe will sort of the decision of whether or not he would use him in relief this weekend if he'd tied the record here. Tommy's off the hook. Hershiser, Drysdale with Lasorda.
After Hershiser's record-breaking performance, several relief pitchers were brought in for both teams. The score remained deadlocked at 0 until the Dodgers scored a run in the top of the 16th. But the Padres rallied and won with a 2-run shot to deep left by Mark Parent. Let's have another look at Hershiser's 59th consecutive scoreless inning and hear his thoughts on breaking Don Drysdale's record.
I think that Don Drysdale is probably one of the finer human beings I've ever met, and I respect him as a competitor, and I thought it wouldn't have been all bad to have 2 Dodgers just sitting up there on top as a tie. But I was convinced by higher sources that they weren't going to take me out of the game. So I figured I might as well get the guy out.
It was fun for me to watch because I found, somebody asked me a little while ago, they said, what were you thinking? Well, I couldn't, as I'm thinking, get the ball down and get him out, strike curveball here, whatever you want to throw. When I was out there pitching, why I'm thinking about what I want to do. So there's a whole different scenario right there.